Vinny, I heard you like XCOM.
I love XCOM.
Okay, now give me your thoughts on bureaus.
Like a chest of drawers. Like
Yes,
a very,
yeah, like mahogany.
like a teak.
Like passed down from your grandma.
They're hard to move if you're like living in apartments for a lot of your life. Like you just need some of that IKEA shit and just disassemble, throw out.
Okay. Now, how do you feel about declassification?
It's probably a good thing unless you're in Hong Kong. I guess, I don't know. Topical, right?
With state secrets?
Yeah, I guess.
On your person?
Yeah.
All right, well, to bring all that together, we've got the Bureau here.
Okay.
XCOM Declassified.
What?
Yep.
That's impossible.
You're looking at it.
That's impossible.
I think Morgan and Eric from 2K Marin might be offended by your comments.
What are you talking about? Are you guys really here right now?
We are actually here and not from an undisclosed location in a foreign national airport.
So this game does exist? Like the...
Indeed it does.
Julian Assange did not hand you a USB stick right before this video and say, here, put this in.
People need to see this!
It exists, though the files for it may have been found on the bottom of someone's bureau, hidden under the winter sweaters from 1962.
Gotcha. All right, nice. All right, nice.
All right, with all that out of the way.
Way to bring it around.
Yeah. What are we looking at?
So yeah, like you guys have been working on this for a while. Tell us what's up.
I need to know.
Okay, so let's just kick right in. So this is the Bureau XCOM Declassified, and what we've set out to do is tell the never-before-told origin story of the XCOM organization. We've gone back to 1962, height of the Cold War, USA against USSR. You know, not just Russia, but USSR, because that's what it was back then.
The bloc.
Soviets, the bloc, the wall.
Ivan Drago.
Cold War tension. I must break you. Cold War tension is high, and in that powder keg, aliens attack. You play as William Carter. You're there day one, where the Bureau, founded to defend America against foreign threat, has to become XCOM, to defend us against foreign threats from beyond our planet. And we're here on what we call a minor operation, sort of a secondary op, to show off a lot of what's going on with the Bureau. So our main thrust, our main goal, was basically take the top-down, I am the master of all aspects of an organization, classic XCOM formula, and say, what is it like to be a field commander down on the battlefield, leading the troops where the bullets and lasers are flying. So you can see here we've brought up the battle focus interface, and this is the big thing for us here. The battle focus is how you're going to be able to issue orders, maneuver your agents, take all the tactical control over your squad in battle, all in real time, which makes it really, really cool. So our driver here is set up a really simple ambush by issuing movement orders. He's put his 2 agents up on that piece of cover, fired off the various powers and abilities to start taking out these aliens, and basically bum rushing these guys with his team to take them out. Now, the screenshots don't really do it justice. This ability to have tactical control of your squad is kind of unparalleled out there. Like, you're able to issue complex movement orders, say take this flank, take this high ground, get the advantage that gives you in terms of damage, as well as fire off of the powers. You can also queue all this together in basically a big order chain. Like, go here, do this, then this, and you over here, get out of this huddle, as it were, and then watch them unleash the wreck on the bad guys.
Sure.
Dang, Morgan, take a breath.
Man,
all I really want to know.
We've been classified for so long.
Just spilling right out.
The only question I really have is how many times you've given that pitch in the last, like, 2 months.
Quite a few, but I find ways to make it unique each and every time, because I keep myself interested.
So here's a question. If you played the Firaxis XCOM last fall, like, I mean, looking at this, like, right off the bat, it looks like you've taken a lot of, like, interface cues from that as far as, like, what the icons look like when they take cover and stuff like that. Like, are you going to be able to jump into this and immediately kind of get the visual lexicon and sort of know what all the randomness is and that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, that's totally our hope. Like, I mean, it's not just gameplay mechanics that we think are part of the XCOM franchise. It's also just the look and feel. So our hope is that players familiar with the turn-based XCOM are going to come in and go, oh, I get it. That's a flank prompt. That's a cover node. Like, I get that. And what we'll bring new to the table is, oh, now I'm tackling these challenges from a new perspective, and with that, with the time progressing both on the battlefield and in battle focus, with a different set of tension and terror.
It's moving a lot faster than I would have expected. Like the pace of this seems way more actiony.
Well, actually, it's a bit of a misnomer. Our driver right now is kind of a badass, so he is showing off how fluid you can issue all these commands while still, like, punking aliens in the face. But the vibe that we are shooting for is less one of action and really more of, like, it's a small unit tactic. So I liken it to, like, you take a military small unit tactics game like your Full Spectrum Warriors or like Classic Rainbow. Like for us, it's like it's Delta Force versus Spetsnaz, but replace them with XCOM and Aliens.
Sure.
So we're trying to get that visceral punch of what it feels like to be on the battlefield and having to think on your toes.
Still looks like how about Taction?
Taction?
Yeah.
Taction. I like Taction.
Yeah. Let's go with Taction.
Yeah.
This game is full of fucking Taction.
We will route that through the marketing bodies that can get 2K.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Somebody's going to draw a big red X on it. That'll never get through.
There will be an NDA for you to sign releasing your rights to the phrase Taction from us. But it's pretty funny. But yeah, finding that combo, like it is trying to play on the various tempos of battlefield management, which is what we're trying to do.
Oh, there's that sectoid talky noise.
Oh no!
It gets my hackles up every time I hear it.
No. So Carter and his squad, it's cool. So we are also able to, as you kill guys, you gain experience points and level them up. I'm going to toss over to Eric over here really quick just to talk about the squad and the squad management aspects.
So you have your team members, and they're helping you out here. They're pretty customizable. We have 4 classes. We've got Recon, Commando, Engineer, and Support. Pretty similar to how Enemy Unknown did it. They gain experience points as you go through, and you get to choose their powers for them that customize your playstyle. And true to the XCOM franchise, these guys can die. You can have your fully leveled up, fully tricked out agent, and if he goes down, if you send him out into the middle of nowhere by himself and don't help him out, he's going to die, and you don't get him back. And that curve going through just keeps the pressure on you, because these guys are important. You can't really just run and gun this game, because if you just Rambo up to everything, you're going to get a face full of lasers and you're going to be done. You need to use your team, and you need to build your guys so they help you out.
How does that affect Carter? Obviously, he's kind of like the core story character. Like, what happens if he goes down?
If Carter goes down, it's game over.
Okay.
Because the story is tracking Carter, even though you play as Carter, you embody Carter, and you give orders to your guys. You have a lot of control over where they go, what they do.
Yeah, but everybody but him is expendable then?
Yeah.
Cool.
Boom, boom, boom. Equipment unlocked. So
that was one of our schematics there that Joe picked up. You can customize your backpack. It's kind of like RPG equipment. They do all sorts of stuff, affect your stats. I think the one there was a health boost that he picked up. Your agents wear backpacks too. They're things that XCOM has developed using stolen alien technology, because XCOM does that. They violate the alien patents all the time.
Patent infringement?
Fabrication.
Alien lawyers are pretty tough.
Actually, spoilers, what the story is about is the outsiders are on Earth to collect their patent royalties.
So is the alien technology going to be different than what I've seen in other XCOM games?
There is a lot of similarities at the core, because we think part of the fun of the XCOM experience is starting with bullets, going into lasers, getting into plasma technology. But there are a number of sort of new and unique things that are going to come into the battlefield, which are just unique to the Bureau. Also, some of the base level weapons, because we're in 62, are just time period appropriate. So
sure.
You're dealing with the state of the art in assault rifles, the M14. USA.
That's always a super weird thing, right? About making any kind of prequel is like you want to do new stuff, but then have to figure out a way to be like, well, why wasn't this around? Like, what happened to this awesome technology
in the 80s? Or yeah.
I'm not going to give it away, but that question is answered.
What?
We do deal with that. We do deal with that.
Shockingly, that occurred to us.
How come you guys figured that out and George Lucas couldn't?
I don't know. We have feedback. Yes. Oh man. Sorry.
We shots fired.
Willing to listen to suggestions.
Willing to listen to suggestions. Do user tests. Those sorts of things.
People who are willing to tell us when we've done something dumb.
Yes.
So it looks like you're sticking with the kind of the enemy aesthetic from the other XCOM games, the kind of 50s gray aliens and that sort of stuff. Like the enemies should be pretty familiar then. Or?
Yeah, we do play with the menagerie, the buffet of bad guys, which is part of the XCOM. So there's the classic guys like the sectoids. There's this mutant that we're fighting, super mutant with the jump pack. He's going to punk you in the face, as well as some unique new enemies. In fact, part of our narrative, sort of the fun aspect, deals with these enemies, the Zujari, the outsiders. They've subjugated some of the classic XCOM species, brought them to our Earth. So the first time like a sectoid comes to our planet, it's under bondage from these jerks out here. And then obviously
space jerks.
They know where we are in the galactic map, so when they come back liberated, they come back to kick our asses themselves.
It's something that was important to us going through, because we're telling more of a coherent story that has been told in XCOM before. I mean, in classic XCOM, you had a lizard man fighting next to a sectopod because reasons. Because I mean,
video games.
Because it looked cool.
There wasn't, a very strong narrative in those games,
Yeah.
and they fought next to each other because those were enemies that created cool gameplay. But just finding a reason to tie all these guys together, why are the Sectoid and the Zujari friends? They're not friends.
More like goblins and Urarque.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad for the sectoids. Don't feel bad for you.
What makes humans so awesome? Why are we so badass?
So it is part of the classic XCOM formula. It is the coordination. It is the brain. Like our game is very much focused, like in the classic XCOM way, on that premise of a small group of people working together using their noggins, bullets, and their twitch can overcome anything. Kumbaya, aliens dead.
High five.
High fives,
Yeah.
fist bumps for all.
Yeah.
And it is that, we're resilient, we're scrappy, and we work coordinated as a team. So as you saw in the previous combat and coming up, this emphasis on I am cool and powerful on my own. My buddies, autonomously for AI, are decently intelligent, but my ability to command them the battlefield, to be the conductor, the coach, the orchestrator of all this carnage, is what sets us apart from the bad guys and equals success. As Eric was saying, if you try to ramble this game, you will have a very, very bad experience very, very quickly. And you're like, oh, I guess I can't do that. It really is about squad management and using your squad mates, their powers and abilities, your weapons, your abilities, and figuring out the ways in which to sort of put them together into a plan, which is going to be key to success.
Don't get this game expecting to just left trigger, right trigger your way through it.
No, that will be you will fail. Which is for us, which is why we love showing off in video and talking about it, because you see a screenshot, you go, oh, it's the third-person XCOM game. Yawn. But really, at its heart,
Activate forum rage.
Rage on the forums. But at its core, it is this, is relying on this real-time tactical combat, which we think is both fun. It's refreshing what's out there in the marketplace now, and very XCOM in its core.
So something I've seen in this game through its various permutations is the kind of between mission research aspect, or having a home base, like a bureau, if you will, to return to.
To
put your socks in.
Mom keeps yelling at me.
And obviously research and developing technology has been a big part of XCOM forever.
Yep.
Is that stuff still in here? I haven't seen the game in this form, but
So good question. So first and foremost, there is still the base XCOM headquarters. For us, it's both a bit of social hub and quest zone.
Okay.
So it is where you go to interact with the various main characters, move the narrative forward, and you have quests and social interactions within it that propel the plot forward and provide a great secondary actions. We, at one point, were looking at research, but we decided that, since our expression of the franchise was more about in the battlefield, we wanted you to be a battlefield officer, not office manager. So we have extracted the research out to something more akin to an RPG level up experience, where you gain XP, you rank up, and then you spend that rank up on customization that way.
So there is still some variability to the way that stuff rolls out.
Yeah, there's a high degree of variability on the sort of what powers and abilities you give to yourself and your agents, but we've extracted out that sort of I am going to build the east wing of XCOM HQ to, a way, because again, we think that works better in, say, Firaxis' Enemy Unknown, which is a game about controlling the totality of the organization. Our fantasy is I am a battlefield field officer in the organization, so we wanted to streamline and focus to what would get you into missions and back out of missions. Again, not trying to be brain dead, but trying to distill that focus, which for us, which is part of what we've been taking a while to iterate on, was try to find that expression and find it in its most focused form.
So
Streamlining without dumbing down.
No dissections or capturing guys?
There is not dissections, because again, you're William Carter. You're
not a
badass
doctor
in the field. You're not a doctor. You're not Dr. Carter.
Not to contradict you. We have stuff like that as story elements.
Gotcha.
Rather than as you press a button, you get a giant menu of text.
Sure.
Part of that is the discovery of who these people are and what they're doing.
So as story beats, they'll be cutting aliens open.
When you go back to the base, you see people doing like that. You see, you're not Dr. Carter, but you see the scientists in there doing that sort of research.
You dissect them with your gun.
So was this a core story mission, or are there side missions?
This is what's called a minor operation. So our main campaign.
I thought you said he wasn't a doctor.
Get out.
Damn.
Boo.
All right, we're gonna have to rename these ones, Eric. All right, this was a secondary mission.
There you go. Thank you.
This is basically the core campaign has primary ops, primary operations, missions, as it were, for the non-medical amongst us that form the central narrative spine, and then along the way we open up these basically RPG-like side quests for you to pick and choose from and how you want to engage with them. And it was a great little sort of small scale format of content for us to be able to just talk about some of the primary game.
Are any of those repeatable? Like, you know, if you have guys that you've leveled up and they bite it late in the campaign, like, do you have a way to grind out levels for new guys, or how does that work?
No, I mean, that's one of the awesome things about what we're doing in this expression is we have that concept of permadeath, as Eric was talking about, but there's no farming XP. There's no, like, oh, that didn't matter, or I can prolong the campaign from moving forward. So if you lose a dude late on, like, that hurts. He's gone.
Okay.
And you have to do a lot of roster management to make sure that you have acceptable guys to tap back in to come in the field. Like, you can actually soft fail the game.
So another core XCOM feature of gritting your teeth and starting the game over.
Yeah, yeah, it is an XCOM game, but it's in some ways it's more hardcore than the turn-based because the plot moves forward. So we give you these secondary missions are great ways for you to take some new guys with you to try to level them up. So you build out your roster. We also have what's called dispatch missions, which is a passive way for you to level them up without you being in the field.
Sure. Can we hit the A button?
Yeah,
does that work?
Yes, we can totally hit the A button.
I want to see what that looks like.
So, in an unscripted, unprepared place, we spawned into the laboratory here in XCOM HQ. We will provide no context for what the viewers of Giant Bomb exclusively are about to see in this video. You get no context, but we can say, because we're talking about the base, here's one of the laboratories within XCOM HQ.
Okay.
You'll interact with a lot of the main characters, the actual doctors that do the dissecting. And this is a place where you both get narrative and plot moving forward, but like I said, we do quest lines within the base. When we start the game, XCOM doesn't even exist, so there's sort of an Andromeda strain-esque, we're pulling the best and brightest from America, their red phones have rung, please show up here, it's on. And so you're here when they're packing in the crates, and as it slowly comes online, it spreads out, which is really, really cool.
Okay.
Did they come up with the name XCOM during this game? Is there like a brainstorming meeting?
Marketing guys sit around and
alien slaughterers. No.
William Carter, you and your squad must engage in taction for a new organization now dubbed XCOM. It is actually named. You were there. You were literally the day XCOM is founded in the organizational roots, as you know. And then obviously, because we do tie into the rest of the XCOM lore, there's that aspect where certain things must become classified.
Sure.
Primarily because the Russians can't know how close we came. We're on the ropes. We still got terrestrial problems to deal with on our own.
Well, a lot of what they're doing is keeping this war from the public eye to keep the panic levels down, which we don't have a system for that. That's all story stuff. But you know, the aliens, they're coming in as kind of an expeditionary force, dropping their anchors and getting ready for their main force. And in addition to beating them back, it's important to keep this out of the public eye.
Yep.
Can I get that sweater? That sweater.
No, I know. I've been eyeing that
looks
thing.
awesome.
It's not quite a turtleneck, but
It's a mock turtleneck. Looks wool, ribbed.
It's a little bit of there's a bit of a Steve McQueen bullet in there. So
Sure.
So Carter's got a couple costume changes. Like, so here in the XCOM headquarters, we're in the agent roster. This is where you'll be recruiting new dudes. You can see like we got like our level 7 Carter and a couple 5s. It's also where you can bring more guys in and customize them out. So jumping into Saykovsky here, let's hop right in and move over to the abilities. We were talking about the sort of research and customization. You can see like you have the various abilities here that you select effectively through a tree. As we slide over to perks, you can see this is your level up tree, which is kind of cool. So there's a lot of customization and branching that no one, say, support officer will be like the other, or no one commander is like the other. It's going to force a lot of exploration across the class types.
And how are you getting experience or points to put in? Is it just through the missions?
With your bullets.
What?
Over the corpses of your fallen enemies.
You are a machine that turns bullets into experience points.
That's why he's the man.
Carter, what is best in life? And plus we give you the ability to put people in the funky colors, because what's more fun than the name dudes after your buddies and to make them wear chartreuse and mauve.
of course.
The Mauve Squad is my preferred agent color scheme as I go out there.
And I have to ask this for equipment. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at that guy.
That's
sharp.
Great. That's great.
Now let's make them look stupid.
Do you get like armor and stuff like that reflects on the characters, or do you just get like cooler vests?
The packs are our expression of that, and so like the different classes stay locked, so you can tell who's who, which you really need to be able to do in real time. But the different backpacks that you use as equipment boosters do reflect on the guys, along with their cuffs and guns.
Everyone always makes Recon into the Joker.
It's perfect for it. I also go with Johnny Cash, because my agent agents will also wear black until
Yes.
the savior comes back, as they say.
What's the max in a squad? Is it 3?
So you can carry 2 other guys with you out in the field, so
Okay.
Carter plus 2, and then you have 8 available guys in your roster.
Okay, so you always have to decide which of the 4 classes to leave out, basically.
Exactly. You're
Okay.
always making choices, and like certain, we don't try to be very prescriptive in our combat setups where it's like, you should have brought the recon guy here, jackass. But there are obviously certain fights or certain things that suggest different pairings, so you'll have an easier go. But we do leave it up to you to decide what you want to do.
Does Carter himself have a class, or is he kind of an all-around?
He's the squad leader class,
Yeah, okay.
and kind of he's, if you break these down into like D&D or just RPG terms, he is effectively the pet class because he controls everything. And then, with the commandos, like, DPS, and the recons, obviously, the sniper class. So
You may have covered this earlier, but I'm sorry if I missed it. But if he goes down, is the game over? Mission over?
when Carter drops, they crumble, man. He has the slow, steady hand of controlling the helm that they just crumble without his
They
presence.
cry and run.
Okay.
It is horrible.
So you got to kind of keep him back a little bit and don't rush him in.
Exactly. So let's back out here. And again, we're on unscripted demo land, but this is fun. And of course, we do it with our buddies from Giant Bomb because
Aw.
that's how, if you're going to be unscripted. I'm very upset that we're not doing shots right now.
Oh, there's this bottle of tequila right here.
We're just gonna,
That's right. It's on the table.
might as
I
well.
did my shots for breakfast.
So we'll head back into the ops room, which is the mission control, just for the one last brief. Oh, Agent Memorial Wall to the fallen over there. You'll see your dead bros up on that wall. I wouldn't click it now because I have no idea what will happen.
Click it.
Oh, in
No.
Demo Land, no one has died yet.
Perfect game.
Yeah.
Perfect game, not going to happen.
No man left behind.
But the idea being that amongst the side quests and sort of narratives that you can do within the base itself, we also have the classic, obviously, the battlefield map of the continental United States. It's the fighting ground you'll be fighting over, and you'll be able to pick and choose both from the primary missions and then sort of the random secondary missions, which are player initiated. And over time, this will start to populate up and show the state of the war effort. Again, trying to tie things very much into what we consider the franchise pillars of XCOM.
Sure.
Oh, and spoilerific things about to happen as we hover over there, which is cool. It's exclusive spoilers. We today have opened our chest of drawers of the Bureau and brought you spoilers.
I like this map.
I like where this is going.
Yep. And another opportunity in the agent management screen to select your teams
Okay.
right before you jump in. And look at Shore. Look at Shore's chin. Dapper man.
Yeah.
Dapper Shore. So that, in a quick and now unscripted nutshell, is a lot of what's going on with the Bureau XCOM Declassified.
Excellent. You guys are feeling good this time? You're kind of barreling toward the finish?
Oh man, we are so close. So we're we're hitting the shelves August 20th in North
wow.
America,
Okay.
23rd internationally on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC.
Like a pro.
Like a pro. Look
Yep.
at that, dropping consoles right there. So we're super excited, and obviously, as the months get closer and the weeks get closer at this point, showing off more of the game it makes us happy. So we can both show people what the game's all about, maybe counteract a bit of form rage, and
We like for you guys to be happy. We want to make people happy. Everybody should be happy.
yeah. What the universe can't see right now is that there's a whole fruit basket here with pineapples and exotic fruits, and there's a takeaway giant bomb doily.
An assortment of cheeses.
Yeah.
It's just-
It's awesome.
And a giant chest of drawers, which I don't know, bad swag, man. Just to carry around, just
It's after E3.
spray painted XCOM on the
Pre-order and
side.
get a bureau.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bureau.
Why did we not do that?
Oh, this is a cool looking room right here.
Yeah, it's the agent room, planning their ops, playing with little toys. It's like Warhammer in real life.
That guy looks really tough too. He's got a good sweater with the suede patches on
really
it.
a lot of manly men in this
Yeah.
game. I feel intimidated.
It's ironic that you say that because even though it's 62 and it was a man's world, as James Brown saying back then, we also, because XCOM is best and brightest, we get to deal a little bit with gender and race stuff. So XCOM takes whoever. So even though it's not a fully integrated society, there's a few females that have come that you interact with, and we dwell on that. We deal with some of the race issues, not at the forefront, just as a backdrop. Like you can't fight in the South in 62 without it being there.
Right.
So beyond just the Cold War
interesting.
tension, we try to use it as a springboard to tell a lot of cool secondary narrative context.
See, and that's what makes the humans great, because look at those. I don't think I ever fought a female alien that I knew about. And see, it's the integration, humans, the conflict. That's why we survive. That's why we win. That's why you should vote for Caravella in the next election. That's my platform.
I just got weirded out. Eric. You?
I didn't know this was a political thing.
Yep. I just turned it into it. Taction.
Vinny's always looking to push his
Don't blame
tactionist
me. I
agenda.
voted for Kodos.
And on that note,
Thank you guys for bringing us by. I'm super excited to finally see it.
yeah, it's great to
man,
get
all the smoking in the offices.
Yep.
That's terrible.
Yep.
It's going to ruin all that equipment.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys having us drop by, and definitely we like being able to show off cool, unscripted things.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.